Hello viewers, this is Say-La-Vee and we are back with our All the Mod 6 Let's Play series. This is episode 13, take 2. Yeah, I just recorded an entire 30-minute episode and then realized that all I completed was the recap and some power goofage. So let's turn around here and check out our board. So what have we completed? I have made a, we're gonna reset, restart, rethink about how we handle our episodes starting right now. So I'm just gonna do a quick recap of what is on the board, and then we're just going to jump into what we have done. And then I want to explain some new things, including specifically the modular routers. So what have I completed? I made a second controller and I made a second storage because ours were starting to fill up quite a bit and we are going to need 2 controllers to get into the increased AE autocrafting. So we're going to start doing that soon, but I would like a base first. So the the controller 2 and storage 2, boom, done, knocked out of the way. Industrial speed. We used the dissolution chamber over here. We made 2 speed upgrades. One of them is here and one of them is here. So this is moving significantly faster. We also swapped this out to acacia wood because that gives us much more rubber to create plastic with. It's the best wood that we can use actually. The enchanting. We have upgraded our enchanting setup. So that's the heads, the jack-o'-lanterns, and the bookshelf all provide different attributes to increase the rarity and the levels of enchantments that we find, which leads me into the sword that we have now. We switched over to a refined obsidian sword. We've got a whole bunch of different enchantments on there that make it way better than that other sword we were using. We've also increased the enchantments that are here on our pickaxe, so efficiency and unbreaking were what was on there at level 3. Now we have those both at level 4 with Soulbound, Experience Boost, and Fortune all on top of that, which is wonderful. We've got our hammer still here just hanging out. We've enchanted all of our gear, so now we've got some fancier stuff there. The spawners and the dreadful dirt are pretty much what I spent most of my time doing between episodes. So using the cardboard boxes that we have had previously, let's go take a peek real quick, and then we'll also segue into the modular routers. So, I found a fortress, finally, in the nether, and I used a cardboard box. Let's do an example here. So if you place a cardboard box on an entity, it picks it up, which you then can move somewhere else, and boom. It doesn't matter what that is, it just works. So you can do that to spawners. So we've got a blaze spawner here that when I AFK in this room, it spawns blazes just like that. We've got a mob masher from mob grinding utils, which mob masher. It's some diamonds, a whole bunch of iron in the equivalency of swords and blocks. You power it with redstone. You put upgrades in there. So we've got, I think, 4 sharpness and 6 looting. That is being absorbed by this absorption hopper. Excuse me. We are pushing the levels in here. So we've got 250 buckets of levels. It is first, nearest first. So we're putting into our drawer controller here. We are filling up 32 witch hats and then voiding the rest. I might put an upgrade in there. We've got a whole bunch of slime balls, a whole bunch of sky slime balls as well. Those are being voided because those are what we collected the most of. Then over here we've got the blaze rods from that spawner, the molten cores from that spawner, all of our ender pearls, the fragments to make ender pearls, and then this leads me into the modular routers. So, Chosen Architect is a YouTuber that I watch quite often. He is wonderful. He definitely deserves more subscribers. So go find him, go subscribe to him. I'm going to link the video that has modular routers up in the corner. So check that out for sure. But the Modular Routers mod is wonderful. It is a whole bunch of wireless transfer of items, and I'm pretty sure you can even do power and fluids. So to give you a quick rundown, this distributor module can be configured in a couple of different ways. You can have up to, I think, 8 blocks attached to this. So right now we are attaching to the rotten flesh drawer. And what that's doing is it's transferring into the router. So we put that back in there. The router is set to function on high so we turn on our lever, give it a high redstone output, and now it is wirelessly distributing into these 7 drying basins. So we are yanking rotten flesh out. You can kind of see it transfer with lines. And then over here, the exact opposite's happening. This is pulling all of these into the router, and then it is sending directly into this over here. So we've got a whole drawer of leather that is being produced directly from all of the rotten flesh. And then all of the extra stuff that's being collected is just sorting into these chests. Whenever these fill up, we're just going to call it good, and then it's going to go into this trash can. So modular routers are quite wonderful. Some other automations that we have set up using them is I have automated the process of creating charged Certus quartz. So this is outputting down regular Certus quartz, and then this is inputting from the right charged Certus quartz. So because this has a random interval that it will charge the quartz, this was the best way to do it. So boom in, boom out. And then, like you just saw, they just hang out there. So we are currently down some Certus quartz because of the examples that I made with those. And then the last use of the modular routers we are doing is this right here. So this modular router is distributing from the latex processing unit into the router, and then it is pushing out the front into this. So this is where all of our tiny dry rubber is going. I don't think we actually have the processing unit turned on at the moment. Yeah, that's just collecting latex. So if we turn that back on, this is going to fill, it's going to start, we can see that disappear, and then they end up in here. So this should hit 6 any second. Yep, boom. Then once this hits 9, it activates this dry rubber. So let's wait for that to hit 9. Boom, dry rubber is pulling out into this one and then sending into the input chest of the furnace. So it goes into the furnace and boom, plastic. So completely automated. We don't need to do anything other than place the logs. So like I was saying, I spent an emerald that I got, I think we've got emeralds. We've got 19 of them. So I spent one of them to buy an acacia sapling. And then what I do is I mine our acacia tree, as you would expect. Turn on our magnet to collect everything. And then over here, all I have to do is boom, boom, boom. And then that will start collecting significantly faster. So let's close that off. Let's turn back off this, because I don't need to keep getting plastic. We're not using a whole bunch of it. And then we've also added just the paper recipe since last time. So that's pretty much it. Boom, done. The Tinker's Workbench is a new addition to the Thermal Series mods, which is what we use... Oh, I thought I hit... There we go. Which is what we use to upgrade our flux capacitor. And then this flux capacitor is what is charging our jetpack and then our exchangers and stuff. So the biggest reason why last time that I recorded was such a waste was because I spent a whole 30 minutes trying to learn how to use the Flux Networks mod. So what Flux Network is just like the modular routers, we are getting wireless input of power. So instead of having the high voltage wires running that can literally kill me, we are outputting from this battery directly into a flux plug, which is filling our system. This is our buffer that sits directly in this plug. And then down bottom here, that pole I'm just going to leave there because I think it looks cool. But we are outputting directly from the water wheels into this battery, and then this flux plug is building up a buffer and then sending out a bunch of our power here. So it's giving us a genuine read on how quickly our power is being generated. So just do what we do best, gather some of that. Yay, more quartz. And now we've got flux plugs going into the system. This thing here is charging our inventory, our curios, our armor, and our hotbar. Not what is in our hands, because, I mean, if it's in our hotbar, then obviously it's going to charge what's in our hand. And then let's turn on the offhand, actually. The armor slots and curios, because it's charging our jetpack, and it's charging that, which is a waste of time. We actually don't really need this anymore because of this thing. But, hey, you know, we do what we do. So, I cut down the intro just a little bit, but now you have seen how to use those routers. What would I like to do today? What I would like to do right now is I want to progress a little bit further into our industrial foregoing. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, okay. So that was actually a quest. So now we have a new flux plug and a new flux point. So I'm actually going to hold on to the plug. You can see how I have those marked up there. Build the speed add-ons. The meat feeder can go away. Excuse me. So, like I was saying, I want to move further into industrial foregoing. So I want to make one of these advanced machine frames. So let's go grab some pink slime and gather the resources to do this. Oh wait, we need netherite scrap. I don't have netherite scrap. I have not spent very much time at all in the nether trying to find that. So I guess we need to figure out... Oh, we can turn netherrack into ancient debris. We can also mine it with the laser. And the combiner will turn netherite dust into ancient debris. Cool. Nether miner from mine colonies. I guess they can supply it. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go figure out what we're going to do with netherite. Because I don't necessarily know how common it is in the nether. We only get one. Ancient debris. So if we mine it with fortune, that would probably be best. It does create 2 ingots. So we can double it in that. We can double it in the enrichment chamber. We can crush it into dirty netherite, and then I'm assuming this is... Oh, okay. So adding just another extra step, we can crush it to get 3, and then turn 3 into the scrap. So I guess I'm going to have to either go find a bunch of netherite, or we can move into another mod that I would really like to check out, and that is Botania. That is something that we did not do in the failed episode, but I would really, really like to get done this time. One thing I want to do is I actually want to get us a base. So I'm going to excavate a bunch of this hill, and I'm going to build a whole new platform up here, and we're actually going to build some sort of base. So if you guys have some sort of recommendation as to what this base should look like, just let me know. If not, I'm just going to do either a series of 9x9s, or I'm going to actually build something and try and make it look decent. But for right now, let's hop into the book, let's hop down to Botania, and let's follow this quest line. So, right here, check, boom, welcome to Botania. We need a flower pouch and this new head to replace the one that we consumed last episode. So what is in here? Oh, this is where we keep all of our flowers. Okay, cool. So, we've done it. Hooray, what's next? Got flowers, floral fertilizer. So we need bone meal and dye. So it's a good thing we were growing those dye seeds. Let's look up the floral. Okay. So we need bone meal. So, bones. Let's get a stack of those. Make a couple stacks of bone. I'm not worried about duplicating those to get more because we have the farm downstairs. So let's make a whole bunch of that. Perfect. So now let's go find a open patch of grass. This one looks wonderful. Let's collect some magical flowers. So these mystical flowers are used as a whole bunch of different components. in the mod itself, which is pretty self-explanatory, I'm sure. But in case you didn't know, we are going to use the petals from these flowers to actually create a whole bunch of stuff. So in our flower pouch here, we've got some stuff. Let's see if that's enough to move forward. So what is next? Ah, yes, the mortar and pestle. So this pestle and mortar, I guess is what it's actually called, is how we grind the flowers down into dust. So let's look up the pestle. Oh. How did I spell that? Oh, I think I definitely spelled it wrong. So, yeah, whatever. So we're going to get 5 of a random flower. We got 5 mystical green flowers. And we should pick those up into our pouch. Okay. What is next? The petal apothecary is how we are going to create new flowers to do a whole bunch of different stuff. So let's actually look up Botania here. And we're going to favorite that one. And then what do we need? So we need... This can either be a petal or a flower. So can we turn this into... Yeah, that turns into 2 petals. So let's craft this here. Oh, we did have some petals. Okay. So that is our petal apothecary. Cool. So where do we want to start setting up our Botania? I guess what we can do for now is I could build another platform. I'm going to find where to do this and I'll be right back. Alright, so right over here behind our enchanting setup, I went ahead and I made a new little platform that we can call our Botania setup. And I actually made an infinite water source so we can fill up the petal apothecary a lot easier. So, what is next? We get 5 more flowers, which is wonderful. Mechanical apothecary optional. Okay, so in other words, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Alright, so sorry about that pause. Just needed to go get some more resources. So, the next quest that we have is the Pure Daisy, which is a huge portion of this mod. So what we need is... We're actually going to need some grass, so I don't know why I replaced all of this. But we need to get a bucket of water in the petal apothecary. You need to throw 4 white petals in there, and then you throw a seed in, and it turns it into a pure daisy. So let's get 2 of those, because we're going to need 2. One to make wood, and one to make stone, which we will see how that works here shortly. Let's get our flowers. Looks like we got orange flowers out of that. So living rock and living wood are what is next. So we need to place wood, logs specifically, and stone, which I believe it has to be... Oh, we can use andesite and stuff for that. So let's see if we have any of that. Let's get half a stack of that. And then, oh yeah, we've got a whole bunch of that. Awesome. So let's drop that real quick so it gets picked up by our pouch. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So let's have those get picked up by our pouch. Okay, and then the living wood. Just like that, and then stone. It said andesite works, and you can see the little particles, so it definitely is working. And I think after a minute, these are going to convert. So I'm going to stick around here for that. Okay, and just like that, we have our first conversion of the pack. So let's gather that. Probably have to get my axe out of my inventory to make this go just a little bit easier. Do that real quick. Okay. So let's get some more of that cooking up while we go to the next quest. So what is next? Let's get our 5. Looks like we got some white flowers that time. Put those in the pouch. Next, the iot. What is that? It looks like it's a tool of all of the different things. That's interesting. There's a living rock one too. Interesting. We'll complete that just so we have the completion. The mechanical daisy, it seems, is also going to be definitely later down the line. So the next big thing that we need are the mana pool, mana spreader, and the wand of the forest. So I believe if we take 2 of those, we can get a stick. I think we need 3 sticks. Let's come over here. And then we need 2 petals. So let's do green and white. And then boom, we have our wand. So now the wand is kind of like the wrench of the mod. So this is what we're going to use to link all of our mana pools and mana spreaders. And it is also what we are going to use to like modify what the flowers are doing. So we're just going to do a full thing of wood because we're probably going to need more of that right now. Let's go over here, actually. Get one of these. And then make a crafting station. So we can have a little crafting station over here. So the mana pool is next on the list. That is just 5 living rocks. Let's make one of those. Boom, our first mana pool. All right, so we've got that. We can claim 16 living rock. And then next is a mana spreader. So we need a gold ingot. Let's make 2 of these. So where's our gold right there? So let's get 2 of those. And now we are going to need the living wood, which we have, and I think it was a petal. So right here's the mana spreader. Boom, petal. Or mana spreader. So let's harvest this real quick. Put all this back to get some more. Now we'll finish off our half stack of stone. Our reward is 5 more flowers. This mana lens, I'm not sure what this does. I'm sure we can find it in the book. Now, what we need to do next is we need to start generating mana, which I'm surprised there's not a quest for that. It tells us to get those, but it doesn't actually walk you through how to get mana. So, that being said, we're definitely going to have to open up the Lexica Botania, which we spoke of in the very first episode of this series, and we have a whole lot to do. So, generating flora is what we need to peek at first. So, the endo flame is typically what we are going to want to start with. This is going to turn like things that can run a furnace into mana. So let's get a couple of those. So that was, oh, where is it? It's right there. Okay, so the endo flame is 2 brown petals, a red and a light gray, right? Yeah, light gray. So let's open up our flower pouch. Let's see what we got here. We don't have any red. We have a brown. Good. And looks like we don't have any light gray either. So, good thing we have our mystical fertilizer. Let's get a whole bunch of this going. Okay. Might as well just use the last 2. And now we should have, okay, so we take one of those, and one of those. And then we are going to see a cool trick here. So if we turn this into petals. No, I don't want to deal with you right now. Let's take care of that guy. Let's go over here and get some bone meal. Some bones. Let's get some bone meal. Now if we plant those petals, like so, we can grow these into tall flowers. Then using a set of shears, we can get those tall flowers. And then those each turn into 4. So we can, as you're probably assuming, we're just going to continuously or exponentially increase the amount of flowers that we have. So let's just do one more of those, and then I'm going to do this with the rest, and I'll be right back. All right, so we are back here. I got a bunch of different flowers. So like we saw, we need 2 brown and then 1 of each of these. So we go boom, 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 and then 1 of those. Oh, we forgot to add the water. There we go. Do that. Fill that back up with water. Fill that back up with water. Boom, and now we have 4 endo flames. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to place down our 4 endo flames, get our mana spreader, which we link the flowers. We shift right click and then right click here. And then we right click this and attach it to the mana pool. And now what we need is we need some coal. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to get some coal coke because that burns a little bit longer. And we drop that down in the middle. And then I believe 1 fuels like 9 flowers or something like that. Oh. I guess it doesn't. Okay, so now all of those are going in here, and we are now generating mana. So I am going to make a few more of those. I think one of these can handle 9 flowers, but I'm not quite sure. So let me get some more of these, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we are back, and that's what I was thinking of. 1 spot they can reach, so all 8 of these are reaching here. And we are just going to get our wand back out, make sure that all of these, so this one's new. If we hover over this, it should show you which one it links to. Yeah, so all these are linked to that mana spreader. And this shows that mana spreader is connected to that pool. So boom, we are gathering mana. So I think we are going to need a lot more mana than we might think. So let's get 4 of those, 4 of those. Collect it all. Drop those back down in. And now, eventually, once those run out of fuel, they will consume that is on the ground. And then, one thing that we can do is, if we know how long these accept fuel, let's see if this tells us. Hold shift to stop the animation. Okay. It doesn't tell us how long that runs for, but we can look and see. I think it runs for its burn time. So if we were to set a timer, like I think they actually talk about it here. Oh no, okay, so maybe it is not that. Okay, let's take a look here. Hydrangeas. They suck up still water in a 3x3 area. That's an interesting thing there. I wonder if we can actually utilize that. Mana manipulation. Not there. Not there. Functional flora. This is where we are going to find our hopper hawk, which is a good reason why we're jumping into this, because then we can start getting our hopping botany pots. Before we end this episode, I would just like to make one more thing. Can't remember what it's called. It's like a dropper, open crate. It should be that recipe right there. Oh, it's living wood planks. Okay. I didn't realize that there were living wood planks. All right, boom. So what this is going to do is we are going to want to just get a block, place, break those, and then this is going to drop stuff out of the bottom. So basically what this is going to do is I'm going to input items. I wonder if we can do this real quick. Gonna need a chest for sure. That wrench. All right, so let's grab a chest real quick. Chest. Get one of those. storage. Do that. Do that. Output. If we put in one of those, it should drop it on the ground. Yes, so what we're going to need to do, I'm going to set up... I'm going to, off camera between episodes, set up a timer that will drop every 3,200 ticks, I think. Yeah, 3,200 ticks. It's going to drop 8 more, and then we're just going to keep generating mana. So this was probably one of the most productive episodes in a while. So I do appreciate the support and everything. If you liked the episode, definitely leave a like. If you disliked it, give it just a dislike. I don't care. If you have anything that you would like to say to me in the comments, you can do so in the comments, in case you didn't know. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you have a good night or good day or good evening or good afternoon or good morning or whatever it is for you. This is Say-La-Vee. Bye-bye.